নিতাই পদ কমলা কোটি চন্দ্র সুশীতলা জয় ছায়া
विद्या तुले की को
Hare Krishna. Everybody ate prasadam?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay. Now it feels like everybody ate. Okay, so welcome everyone on our Friday evening satsang program. We call this program as a Bhakti Vriksha program. Okay, so Bhakti Vriksha. Everybody know the meaning of Vriksha? What is Vriksha? Tree. So the tree of devotion. So actually Bhakti, it's a very delicate creeper. So it's Bhakti Lata. Generally it's Lata. Lata means creeper, very delicate. And this creeper need to be protected very carefully. So for example, if you have a new plant growing up, a small plant, very delicate plant, in the beginning it needs very lot of care and protection, right? You need to put some fence around so that no animals gets into and all that. So that's how the bhakti is also. In the beginning we need to protect the bhakti. We need to grow this bhakti very carefully and protect it from the external disturbances and some other, both external and internal, because there are internal things which can affect the bhakti, which are our anarthas, pride, lust, anger, greed, envy. So these are internal anarthas, the weeds which can grow, which can destroy this plant of bhakti. And then there are external influences which can harm our bhakti lata. So when we come in the association of devotees, we cultivate this bhakti lata and we want to grow it into a big tree. Okay, so that is the concept of Bhakti Vriksha program. Bhakti Vriksha program means small congregation programs with 8-10 families coming together and engaging in Harinam, Kirtan, and also the discussion on Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, these scriptures, to understand these scriptures in a very systematic way. So, before we start our today's discussion, let's offer our prayers to the Guru Parampara, to the Supreme Lord. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Sri Guru Dinatarinim Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanyeshwaram Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Okay, so everybody understand the concept of Bhakti Vriksha. In some places or in some situation we call this as a Namhatta program also. Okay, Namhatta program. Anybody has heard that terminology?
Market.
Namhatta. Hatta means market, shop. Namhatta means the shop of the holy name. Okay, so this is basically to distribute the holy name. People go to market, people go to malls and all. There are shops there, people go to buy some product. But there everything is for a price. You have to pay some price, right, when you go to any shop. And the Namhatta means the holy name is being distributed freely to everybody. So that is Namhatta, where the holy name. So we chant this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra in the Kali Yuga. That is known as Maha Mantra. That's the most powerful mantra to deliver the living entities. The process of self-realization, the process to understand God. For that, the recommended process in Kali Yuga is the chanting of holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So that is called Maha Mantra, the king of all the mantras. So in Kali Yuga specifically, this mantra is recommended and this is very powerful. Kali Santarana Upanishad, it states, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Iti Shodhashkam Namanam, Kali Kalmashah Nashana. This mantra, which is of 16 words. Okay, so if you count this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, there is 16 words. Iti Shodhashkam Namanam, Kali Kalmashah Nashanam. It can destroy all the ill influences of Kali Yuga. Are there ill influences in Kali Yuga? Are there some vices, some bad qualities in Kali Yuga? What are the bad qualities? See, the bad qualities are there always. All these anarthas which we mentioned in the heart, this lust, anger, greed, pride, envy, illusion, these anarthas are there always. But in Kali Yuga, the influences multiplied manifold, right? All these bad qualities are in abundance. And in Kali Yuga, there are so many other bad things is misguided. People are generally misguided, short-lived. Their intelligence is bewildered in so many different ways. So all these bad influences are there in Kali Yuga, and the Maha Mantra can remove all these vices, all the ill influences. So that is Namahatta, to distribute the holy name. And to understand the power of holy name, to understand the potency of holy name, the benefit of holy name, that's why we need to understand through Shastras very carefully. We go to college, we do bachelor's, master's, and many people do PhD. Everybody went to college, right? Everybody has bare minimum 4-year degree. And when we go to college, we study so much. You want to carefully understand all the subject matter. Somebody may have done engineering, somebody did medical, somebody did commerce, economics, or whatever the subject they studied. But when we go to college, you study very carefully to understand the subject matter and to use that subject matter in your life to earn the livelihood. Isn't it? So whoever did their engineering here, maximum people are engineers. Right in this room, I expect everybody is engineer here, I think. So when we did our 4-year degree, we studied all these subjects, solid mechanics or whatever, engineering, drawing, and all these different subjects. So we studied them so carefully to understand the concepts, so that we can use those concepts in our profession. But unfortunately, we do not give the same importance or the same careful study to our scriptures. And we think our scriptures, okay, just knowing little bit here and there is enough. Right? What is so big about this? Reading Bhagavad Gita, knowing Ramayana, Mahabharata, Bhagavatam, understanding these scriptures, we do not give them importance. How many of you have read Bhagavad Gita? Okay, so only few people have read Bhagavad Gita. So we don't understand the importance of reading Bhagavad Gita. We think, first of all, one of the big misconception is spirituality is something to be talked about when we grow old. Right? People think right now enjoy your life, earn money, see the world. So once you grow old, then you should think about spirituality. But that's a big misconception. Because spirituality is something which we need to understand from the very early age. Everybody want to live a purposeful, meaningful life. You all came to America to make big in life. America is considered as a land of opportunities. So people come to America, people come to leave their home and come to different part of world so that we can make something good in our life. Make our life successful. But we really don't understand how to make life successful. What is the real success of life? Is earning money the real success of life? How many of you understand, or how many of you agree with that statement, or expect that yes, earning money is the big success of life? Anybody? Nobody? Then why did you So everybody have that realization that okay, money, earning a lot of money is not the real success. Earning big degrees, masters, double masters, PhD, double PhD, is that success of life? How many of you consider that as success of life? Nobody? All of you are great scholars. Very learned people actually, very self-realized souls. So you all understand that money is not the real success. Getting degrees are not the real success. How about having lot of material things, like having a big house, nice big luxury cars, lot of clothes, lot of pair of shoes at home. So all those are success of life. Anybody consider gaining all these things as success of life? Still, that also not success. But we spend all our life in these things, isn't it? We spend all our life earning money, getting degrees, collecting these material things, maybe going different places as tourism, trying to enjoy in various ways. We do all these things somehow because in subconscious mind, maybe that's how we have been taught, that's how we have been trained, that this is how you should spend your life. Isn't it? But then if that is not the success of life, then what is real success of life? Then why we are doing all these things? It's just the rat race, right? What's called the rat race, because our parents or other people in the society, that's how they have been telling us. When you go to college, when you go to school, we are taught, go to school, get good grades, then you will get to college, then your life is all set. एक बार अच्छे कॉलेज में एडमिशन हो जाए, then life is all set. Then you go to college, then say, okay, now get a degree properly, study nicely, get a good degree. So once you get a good job, then life is all set. So when you got your first job, how many of you felt my life is all set now? I am the king of the world now. Anybody felt like that? Maybe little bit, first few days, that little bubble was there. So when you go to first job, then you start thinking, oh my God, too much pressure. I need to maybe first settle down in job. Then I need to get little more promotion, get to senior engineer position or become a manager of my group, my department. Then life will be all set. And then you get a little promotion, then you think, oh, I need to maybe change job, little hike in salary, little promotion, then job will be all set. And in that way, then parents are telling, now marry. Right? Once you marry, have a couple of children, then your life is successful, then your life is all set. So then you get a couple of kids also done on the way. How many of you feel after that life is settled?
Life is over.
Somebody said after that life is over. So it continues like that. The cycle goes on. Then we start training our children in that way. Right? Go to school, get good grades, go to college, get a degree, get into job, marry, have a couple of kids, then life will be all set. So this is going on and on and on. This is called chewing the chewed. Okay? In Srimad Bhagavatam, Prahlad Maharaj is telling, this is like chewing the chewed. Anybody has seen somebody taking out sugarcane juice? So they put the sugarcane into the machine, on the other side it comes out, right? So juice is squeezed, so then they fold it and again put it again to squeeze it further more. Then again comes out, they fold it more and again put it inside the machine to squeeze another little bit drops left over.
Add lemon.
And then whatever the left out is, after everything has been squeezed out, you will see there are some flies still sitting on that and try to take the little juice out of that. Right? That's called chewing the chewed. What has already been chewed, trying to take the juice out of that. So our life situations are also like that only. We know our ancestors, our grandparents, they also lived their life. They try to be happy, be successful in life. And then our parents also tried that same way. Now we are trying, and then we are teaching our kids also in that way. But really, happiness which we are expecting in this world never comes. That happiness, that satisfaction never comes in life. We try to find that happiness, we try to find that success, but it is like the mirage. It's like you're trying to hold the sand in your hand. More you try to hold it tightly, more it just squeezes out from the hand. Isn't it? Have you tried to hold sand in your hand? So try to close your hand, the fist more tightly and tightly, what happens?
Escapes faster.
It just escapes faster. That is the situation of our life. So where are we making mistake then? Where is the problem? Because we are not trying to understand the real purpose of life. What is the real purpose behind this life? So everybody wants to live meaningfully, everybody wants to live successfully, a dynamic life. And we don't know how to live a meaningful and dynamic life. And Bhagavad Gita is the manual to teach us how to live a meaningful life. So we can consider Bhagavad Gita not just a religious book. Yes, it is a religious book, but it is not just a religious book to be kept somewhere in the corner, some sacred place inside the house, in your temple room or something, and do some arati to that. It is to be read, it is to be understood, and it is to be applied in our life. So that's why we consider ourselves as religious people, we consider ourselves as Hindu people, but we do not try to spend little bit time to understand dharma, to understand the values of life, to understand our scriptures. So as I asked in the beginning, right, how many of you have read Bhagavad Gita? Only couple of people raised their hand. Rest everybody is waiting to grow old to read Bhagavad Gita. That's true, right? That's reality. Everybody think maybe, oh, this is for something to be done at the old age. But when old age comes, then also what is the excuse? अरे अभी दिखाई नहीं देता, अभी कुछ सुनाई नहीं देता, अभी चला नहीं जाता. What can we do now? So that's why spiritual life means training ourselves from the very beginning. Training our children from the very beginning. As we send the children to school, kindergarten, by the age of 5, and they start learning ABC. Same way in spiritual life also, the children should be trained from the very beginning of life. So in our programs, we have children class also. So as you all are sitting here, so the children are also sitting separately and they have their class to understand from the basics, some basic concepts through the stories, through learning some shlokas. So they get their class to understand the spirituality, understand scriptures in a simplified way. So my humble and sincere request to everybody that we should engage in these activities on a regular basis. It's not kind of a once in a while activity, feeling good kind of activity. Oh yeah, we are also feeling very religious today. I went to satsang program today, so I'm also a very religious person. We should attend these programs, make them as part of our life. See, our dharma, it's called the way of life, right? Making it a way of life, making it part of our regular practice. Not that I come to temple once in a while, once in a year on Janmashtami or some other special festival. If we do not take it seriously now, how are we going to train our children properly? And if we ourselves do not understand it properly, what values are we going to pass on to our children? Are we relying on somebody outside that they will teach our children? Do you think schools here will teach them properly in these values? Because if we do not teach them dharma, believe me, somebody outside is ready to teach them adharma. And when they come and ask you some questions, will you be able to answer those questions? Right? Then we tell children, oh, don't ask questions, just follow. Your father did that, I am doing that, now you also do that. Are they really going to listen? Are they really going to follow? They will say, okay, now you cannot answer my questions, why we do certain things the way we do it. If we cannot explain to them, why are they going to follow it? So it's very important for us to first of all understand and pass on that knowledge, those values to our children also. Because once they grow older, once they grow beyond teenagers, after that, it's very difficult to teach them something. Right? Then they're not going to listen to us. Because then they are going to listen to the external sources. So it's better to train them from now. And with the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we are very fortunate that we are having these programs sitting in America, in some remote part of the world. We are able to understand these values, these teachings, the knowledge of scriptures and apply that in our lives. So the program which we are having right now here, similar program are happening at multiple places in overall Metro Detroit area. And the importance is because when we come together in smaller circles, smaller get-togethers, it's kind of a very personal association to gather, learn and grow together. So first of all, it's very important to understand the importance of this. What is the importance of this? So Bhagavad Gita, as I said, is the manual for life, how to lead our life. Because at the end of life is our final exam. Okay, how many of you understand that? Life is a journey. Life is preparation. And death is examination. What kind of exam is that? All of us went through study. Every year, at the end of the college year or at the end of the school year, there are final exams. Why there are exams? Why there is a concept of exam? Let everybody just study throughout the year and then automatically transfer them to the next grade. What is the need of exam?
Test our knowledge.
To test our knowledge, if we have really learned or not throughout the year. Right? And if there are no exam, nobody will take those learning throughout the year seriously. Right? They will take it casually. किसी ने पढ़ा, किसी ने नहीं पढ़ा, everybody is equal then. So that's why there is a concept of exam, so that people will at least try to study seriously, and that's the test, how much really we have understood, how much really we have learned. So same way our life is also like that. Life is preparation and death is the examination. What kind of exam is there at the end of life? What will be tested?
How much we remember Krishna?
So why death is considered examination? At the end moment of our life, where our consciousness is, that is going to be tested. Where is our consciousness? Is our consciousness in some other materialistic things? Is our consciousness absorbed in some eating? Is our consciousness absorbed in collecting some other thing? Is our consciousness in some other mundane activity? Or is our consciousness absorbed in God? Is our consciousness absorbed in Krishna? So in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Antakale cha mameva smarn muktva kalevaram yat priyati samadbhavam nasti atra sanchaya. So chapter 8 of Bhagavad Gita, these two verses are very important. The another verse is, यम यम वापि स्मरण भावम त्यजते अन्ते कलेवरम तम तमेवेति कौन्तेय सदा तद भाव भाविता. तो यम यम वापि स्मरण भावम त्यजते अन्ते कलेवरम. By leaving this body, wherever our consciousness is, that state one will attain for sure. So how many of you believe in soul, Atma? Everybody believe in the concept of Atma? I have nobody here to argue or to say, I don't believe in Atma, I don't believe in soul. So everybody by now here understand the concept of soul. How many of you understand, accept the concept of rebirth, reincarnation, punarjanam? Everybody accept that concept also? Right, so I don't have to start another class here on the concept of karma and reincarnation first. So we know we are not the body, we are the soul. This body is the dress for the soul. That's why in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna gives this knowledge as the first knowledge. We are not the body, we are the soul. Dehino asmin yatha dehe komaram yovanam jara tatha dehantra praptir dhiras tatrana muhyati. As the embodied being, the soul passes within this body from boyhood to youth to old age. Similarly, the soul at death passes into another body. A sober person is not bewildered by such a change. So at some point of time we were little baby, lying in the bed, and then we grew little toddler, then grew further small elder child, then we grew youth, adult, then as the body is aging, now some of us are maybe 40s, 30s, late 30s, 40s. So like that the body is continuously changing and the soul within that body is same. It's going through all those changes. And when the person dies, when the person leaves this body, the soul leaves the body and it will be transferred into another body. Again the life starts. Again we get into a new body, a small baby. So life is continuously going on. The soul is just transferring from one body to another. And it's not a guarantee that once a human, always a human. Okay, so don't be mistaken about that, oh, we have got this human form, so always we are going to be human only. There are 8.4 million species of life. How many? 8.4 million species of life. हिंदी में उसको बोलते हैं 84 लाख योनियां. So 8.4 million species of life. Some are animal, birds, aquatics, trees, creepers, insects and human beings. So all these various varieties of bodies are available. Or just understand, these are various varieties of dresses are available for the soul. Because this body is what? This body is a dress for the soul. You go to the mall, you ask the person, I want to buy clothes. Which type of cloth you want to buy, ma'am? You want to buy a sari or a skirt or a mini skirt or a suit, or which type of dress you want? So based on your interest that I like this particular type of dress, show me that. So in that also, now I want sari. In sari also there are so many varieties. There is a silk sari, there is a cotton sari, there is kanchipuram or whatever. Different varieties of saris are available. So same way, all these are trees, creepers, animals. So animals also, now there are so many different varieties of animals. Aquatics, there are so many different varieties of aquatics. Humans also, it's not just one human species actually. In human also there are 4 lakh different varieties. Okay, so all these are different varieties or the different dresses for the soul. That's why Krishna says, Vasamsi jirnani yatha vihaya navani grahanati naroparani tatha sharirani vihaya jirnani anyani samyati navani dehi. As we give up old cloth and put on the new cloth, same way the soul gives up the old body and accepts a new body. So this is not very hard to understand, right? This is like elementary stuff. So we all know, we maybe at some point of time we have some particular cloth, and when the cloth was waste useless, torn, we threw that cloth away and we got another cloth. So same way Krishna says, vasamsi jirnani yatha vihaya. When the cloth becomes useless, फटा पुराना हो जाता है कपड़ा, उसको हम फेंक देते हैं, नया वस्त्र लेकर आते हैं, we buy new cloth. So same way the soul gives up old and useless body and acquire a new body. But how we get the new body? Which new body we'll get? Who decides that? What type of body are we going to get? Who decides? Our karma. So based on the type of activities we perform, based on the type of consciousness we develop, based on that somebody will acquire that new dress. So in India, maybe somebody was wearing salwar suit, came to West, the consciousness changed, and now they are more attracted to Western clothes. So they want to buy the Western clothes. So same way now we have this human form of life. But if our consciousness is developed in such way, somebody is more attracted to animal type of form, they will get animal form. Somebody is, their consciousness or their activities are at the level of gross level as the tree just standing naked. If somebody's consciousness is developed in that way, they may acquire that particular species of life. So based on the consciousness we develop, one will acquire that type of form. That's why Krishna says, Yam yam vapi smarana bhavam tyajte ante kalevaram tam tam eveti kaunteya sada tad bhava bhavita. At the end of life, whatever state of being one remember, that state one will acquire for sure. So you're getting the connection? So throughout the life, what type of activities we do, where our consciousness is absorbed, based on that, we will get a different body in the next life. Shrotram Chakshu Sparshnam cha Rasnam Granam evacha. So in every life species, we have different set of senses. As a human being, we have these two eyes, nose, ears, mouth. In the animal form also, they also have their nose, mouth, ear, taste, tongue and all that. But their senses, their sense functions are different. Maybe their interests are different. As human being, we are interested in halwa, but a hog is interested in stool. You give halwa to the hog, he's not going to take the halwa. That is interested in a different type of food. So we acquire different senses grouped about the mind, because mind is the storehouse of all these various thoughts. So wherever consciousness is, that state one will attain. That's why death is considered as examination. This is from where I started. Right? Life is preparation, death is examination. Why death is considered exam? Why death is considered examination? To test our consciousness, where our consciousness is, because based on that our next life is going to be determined. Because whatever activities we have done throughout the life, at the last moment of our life, all those things will reel through our mind as a fast forward movie. All those previous thoughts will come in mind. Oh, I engaged in this type of activity, I was eating this meat or something, I was drinking liquor, I was smoking, or I was enjoying with the dog or hogs or something, or whatever kind of activity one performed. All these various activity will, all that memories will fast forward in front of our eyes. So where our consciousness is, one will be destined to that. So who decides the next body? Mate said, as per our karma. Based on the karma. So it's based on desire and deserve. What you desire and what you deserve. Deserve means what is your karma, what is your bank balance. If you go to buy a car, In the showroom now, so many different varieties of cars are there, starting from maybe $15,000 to $1 million. So many different varieties are there, and you go ask the salesperson, please show me some car, I want to buy a car. What is he going to ask you? What type of car you want to buy? What is your budget? Right? How much you want to spend? So you will tell, okay, my range is maybe up to $50,000, and I am interested in this particular type of car, these particular features. So based on that, he is going to decide. So what is your desire? What type of car you want to buy, desire, and how much you can afford, deserve. So same way, what next body we are going to get is based on our desire and deserve. If somebody is interested in meat eating, the nature says, okay, you want to engage in this particular type of activity, become a lion, become a tiger. Somebody want to sleep for 12, 13, 14 hours a day, become a deer, keep sleeping. Ye bhalu ban jao. Somebody has a particular type of desire, they are going to get a particular type of body based on their karma. So somebody's activities are at the level of animal. Let's say somebody's consciousness is at the level of a dog. So based on that, he may become a dog. But based on what he deserves, he may get that particular life situation. Somebody may be a street dog, or somebody may become a dog in the house of a millionaire. Consciousness was of a dog, he became a dog. But what did he deserve? Either being a street dog or a dog in the house of a millionaire. But dog is a dog. So based on what we desire and what we deserve, that's how our next life is going to be decided. And that's why Krishna says, Antakale cha mameva smarana muktva kalevaram. If somebody remembers me at the time of death, then he will attain to me. Because otherwise the cycle is going on and on and on continuously. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani jatare shayanam. We take birth, we die, again enter into the womb of the mother, again this life goes on, again die, enter into the womb of the mother. So it's keep going on and on and on. So this cycle of birth, old age, disease, death. That's why Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, one should try to see the fault in these things. What are these four things? Janam, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. Dukh, Dosh, Anudarshana. So one should try to see the fault in these things. All these four things are accompanied with misery. Nobody wants to grow old. Isn't it? Anybody want to fast forward and grow old right now? Nobody want to grow old, right? Because we know as the body ages, there are so many problems. We have seen our parents, grandparents in our old age, and how many problems are there? Knee problems, they cannot walk properly, they cannot hear, they cannot see anything. So old age, nobody want to go into old age. People want to stay young for longer and longer. Put some facelifting creams or do some other patchwork to stay young. Then nobody want to get diseased. Right? We want to stay healthy. But still disease comes. Even though we don't want it, still it comes. And then finally, death. Nobody wants to die. But nobody is going to escape death. One day death is going to come to everybody. So these are the realities of life. Don't think, oh, why you are being so pessimistic, Prabhuji. Why to talk about these things? Jab aayega tab dekhenge. But is that intelligent? Is that being intelligent? Jab aayega, jab problem aayegi tab dekhenge. We plan so many things in life, right? You save for your children's education, you save for future. Why? At that time do we think, अरे जब आएगा तब सोचेंगे. But we start planning these things early on. But somehow for these things, which is the really important part of life, death is going to come one day for certain. Nobody is going to escape that. Are we preparing for that? What is our preparation for that exam? At that time, okay, can our bank balance save us at that time? Can all the different gadgets save us at that time? So we need to plan, we need to prepare for that also. That's why it's not about art of living. It's about art of dying. People may talk about art of living. Actually, there is nothing such thing as art of living. Everywhere it's planning for death only, art of dying. How you want to live this body, in what consciousness you want to live this body. Art of living, what means? Eat, sleep, enjoy, that's art of living. So art of living means live such a way that you can prepare for the final exam. That is art of living. So in that sense, it's art of dying actually. So everybody with me so far? Your understanding, is it too tough, too difficult? Am I speaking too negative things?
So can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Practically, what you're saying is every human being has a form, another form, like after the death. So, and then you decide what you because your karma will decide what you're going to happen. So, if you take Lord Vishnu, right? So, Krishna, Rama, everything, right? So, Krishna died almost like Krishna also died, right? Basically, then he became a stone, right? Eventually.
He became a stone?
Yeah, like Krishna is still alive, I don't believe it, right? So, what happened is the Rama is one avatar. So the avatar ended, so he transformed into like another avatar. Right?
Okay.
So then Krishna, the books that I read, that's why I'm asking you this question. Correct me if my understanding was wrong or not. So Krishna was shot by a small kid with an arrow, okay? And then he transformed into a idol, okay? And then, so what it means is like the transformation happens for gods is different because they have like superpowers, right? We believe. For humans, what is best? You're asking, right? What is the life that you wanted to lead, right? So living at the moment is the best thing, right? So whatever you are living at this moment, if you are enjoying it, or you are making sure your kids or the people surrounding you are really happy, that's what is living in the moment, right? So once at the stage of death, what do you have like to show yourself is how well you lived your life and how you make it as a example for others. That's what it matters at the end of the life, right?
Okay.
So can you just explain me like the correlation here?
Okay, so here the question is, at the end of life, what matters the most is how you lived your life.
Yeah.
And what you did for others. So, okay, that is a good aspect. What you are asking is, now let's go into a little more detail here, because the topic which you are bringing up is a very important one, and we need to understand that in a right aspect, in a right proportion. So first of all, when you say Lord Krishna, Lord Ramachandra, they also died. First of all, it's not called death for the Lord. It's there. The Lord comes in this world. Why does Lord come in this world? For multiple purpose. Anugrahaya bhaktanam manusham dehim ashritaha. Lord appears in this material world. The biggest reason for Lord to come is to show mercy to his devotees, to attract the heart of the devotees to him by his leela, by his activities. That is the main important reason for Lord to come, and he performs many different pastimes, many different leela. We speak about those leelas now also, and our heart gets attracted to the Lord. So that is the biggest reason for Lord to come. And yes, he comes to establish dharma, he comes to punish the miscreants, to protect his devotees. All those are reasons there. So Lord comes, and when the purpose is finished, Lord winds up his leela and he returns back to his abode. For the external people, for the people in general who do not have faith in him, who are still enamored by the materialistic concept of life, the Lord makes this arrangement as an external arrangement of his leaving the body. People think, oh, he is also like an ordinary human being. He also left his body like that. Now, the pastime of Krishna, for example, leaving his body. So you quoted a small child shot that. First of all, it's not a small child which shot the feet of Lord Krishna. There is a whole detail about that. That's called a hunter named Jara. Okay, so a Jara hunter shot the arrow, and first of all, few weeks back actually we talked in much more detail about that pastime. So Lord Krishna, when he arranged for all the Yaduvanshis to return back, because when Lord comes, all his associates also appear to partake in his Leela, to participate in the activity. So all the Yaduvanshis, they are also the Ansh of Devi Devatas who appear to take participation in Lord's Leela. And when Lord is returning back, he makes arrangement for everybody else also to first return. So he made arrangement for all the Yaduvanshis to return back, and he brought everybody at Prabhasa Kshetra, and in that particular arrangement was done for all of them to leave. In not going into too many details, so we can talk later.
Yeah.
But now, this Jara hunter, he had got one metal tip or a piece of metal which he used to put in front of the arrow. And now, Lord Krishna, when he made arrangement for all the Yaduvanshis to depart, he was sitting in the forest with his back resting against a tree, his foot lying on his leg, and from the far away, this hunter saw this foot of the Lord, and it appeared to him like the face of the deer. Okay? So he thought there was animal there. Some deer was there. And he shot the arrow. And the arrow pierced into the foot of the Lord. And Lord and people. So this is an external arrangement for the Lord to show to the external world that Lord also died. But now just consider this one scenario. When you walk on the street, some stone, some thorn gets into your foot. Can a stone piercing into your foot can cause your death?
Maybe it can, right? So
It can, maybe.
Yeah.
But now just imagine the same scenario in the war of Kurukshetra. Lord is sitting as a chariot driver of Arjuna. All these different warriors, Bhisham, Pitam and all, they're shooting arrows. And lot of arrows pierce into the chest of Lord Krishna, breaking apart all the kavach in front. And nothing happened to the Lord. And just one arrow piercing into the foot of the Lord can kill the Lord. Okay?
Is God's choice? Do you mean like he decided to?
Yes, this is his arrangement to leave his body. So when this Jara hunter, he shot the arrow and he came there to see, he saw the Lord Krishna sitting there. And he fell flat on the ground asking for apology, please forgive me, I shot the arrow, because of me the arrow pierced into your foot. And Lord said, do not worry, this is all my arrangement. Okay, and Lord first delivered that Jara hunter. He sent that Jara hunter also to his own abode. He delivered that, gave him liberation. And then the Lord, with the same body, he started to rise up in the same self body. Lord disappeared. He winded up his Leela. For some people who do not believe in the Lord, he left behind a body. People think, oh, Krishna left his body, Krishna is dead now. His Antyeshti is done or something. But we need to understand, first of all, for the Lord, the soul and the body is same. There is no difference in outside or inside of the Lord. So he appears within this material world in his original form. His form is not made of material elements like our body is. Our body is made of 5 elements: earth, water, fire, air, ether. But the Lord's body is not made like that. He is known as Satchit Ananda Vigraha. His body is full of eternity, full of bliss and full of knowledge. Okay, now your another part of the comment was Lord Krishna died and he transformed into a stone. Right? That's why he is present still in this world as a stone, as a murti or something. So this is also Lord's arrangement. Lord appears in this material world in the form of Archa Vigraha. The murti word used actually in the scriptures, it's known as Archa Vigraha. Vigraha means form. Archa means worshipping the form of the Lord. And it's not somebody's concoction. Okay, it's how Lord has described the form in the scriptures, that my form can be made in this way. It's not by somebody's imagination. And all these different forms of the Lord, in the form of Krishna, in the form of Ram, in the form of Narsinghadev, all these different forms, they exist simultaneously in the spiritual world. All those forms, Lord has all these various forms simultaneously existing, and based on the desire of a devotee to what particular form one may be more attached, so Lord appears in that particular form. So the Archa Vigraha form of the Lord appear in this world for us, to give us the opportunity to serve the Lord. See, with our material eyes, we cannot see the Lord in the spiritual form. If you have to leave, you can leave. So with our material eyes, with our material senses, we cannot perceive something which is of spiritual nature. Right?
No, I didn't follow that.
With our material eyes, we can see only the material things, material objects, which is made of the material elements, earth, water, fire, air, ether.
Exactly.
Even if somebody is made of pure air, pure ether, we cannot see that also.
I mean, we're not empowered to see that, right?
Right, we are not empowered because our material senses are not capable of that. So, to see the spiritual form of the Lord, out of His causeless mercy, He appears in a form which is made of material elements. So He appears in a form which is made of wood, made of stone, made of metal, made of clay, like Lord Jagannath. Well, Lord Jagannath form is made of wood, Daru Brahman. And there are so many other forms where Lord has appeared as a self-manifestation deities. Savambhu, that's called Savambhu. Now also there are so many deities of the Lord which are self-manifested. You go to Vrindavan, there is Radha Ramanji deity which is self-manifested out of a Shaligram Shila. Nobody carved that form of the Lord. And then same like that, there are so many other forms of the Lord which are self-manifested. And the way Lord's form is described, the devotees carve the form of the Lord based on that description, and it could be made of, in the 11th chapter, 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, which is more popularly known as Uddhava Gita. In Uddhava Gita, Lord Krishna speaks to Uddhava and describes the process of deity worship. In that, he describes how the deity form of the Lord can be made. It can be made of stone, wood, clay, it can be made of gold, it can be made of gems, it can be made of painting, it can be made of sand. So many different ways the form of the Lord can be made, and that is Lord is appearing in that form to receive our service. Okay, so we should not think, oh, it's as an imagination or somebody's concoction. It's not that we made God in our image. It's that human is made in God's image. Not that God is made in human's image. So is that okay? Does that connect the points?
Thank you. Basically, we're talking about the transformation. I want to correlate what I know, right?
Right, so the transformation, that's why I said earlier when we started, understanding the scriptures in a systematic way is very important. The way we learn our engineering degree, engineering subjects, we simply did not read the books. What we did, we studied the books. Right? Very systematically, we studied those subjects to understand the concepts, to understand those and apply in our life. But when it comes to reading the scriptures, studying the scriptures, what we do is, we don't even read. Right? How many of you said you read Bhagavad Gita? So we don't even read those. Forget about studying. So we need to study the scriptures also in a very systematic way to understand those scriptures and apply in our lives. Otherwise, we will hear something here and there. We hear something from here, we read something there. Nowadays, it's a fashion. We don't accept a guru, but everybody has a guru. Right? What is that guru? Google Guru. Anything you want to know? Oh, let me Google it. So Google is our guru these days. So anybody can write anything there and people just read and think, oh, this is right information. I can write something on Google. I can write something about Krishna. I can write something about Ram. Whatever my understanding is, whatever little bit here and there I may have heard. And problem is, people just take that bits and pieces of information and they treat it to be the eternal reality, highest reality. That is the mistake which we do. So one thing is Google Guru. Second thing is, who is the second guru? When it comes to understanding spirituality, one guru is Google, second guru is TV. Is TV, so many shows are going on, so many this religious TV serials are going on. Radha Krishna and this and that, Har Har Mahadev and this, that. So many serials are there. If you very carefully see the front screen when the show starts, in the beginning, in very fine prints, what's written sometime? Disclaimers, right? Many disclaimers are there. And fine prints, you have to use a magnifying glass to read that actually. They have written, some of the things are just twisted for entertainment purpose. Right? So our concoctions have been used to make it more fun-filled, make it more attractive to others. And basically what they are doing, they are not concerned about if you are learning or not. They are concerned about making their own money. They are concerned about their TRP. They have no agenda of giving you the right knowledge. Their agenda is to entertain people, to make money, to add masala in that. So they add a lot of masala and show something. I don't want to name any particular serial or something if I start once. So many wrong things they show and people will blindly accept that. अरे हाँ, हम भी बड़े धार्मिक लोग हैं, हमने राधा कृष्ण सीरियल देखा, हमने महादेव देखा, सब जान गए हम राधा कृष्ण के बारे में. We know now a lot. And everybody start considering themselves as guru now. First of all, we are learning wrong things. Then you will teach those wrong things to your children. First, we got little 1% twisted version of the reality. We are passing on 1/100th of that 1% now to our younger generations. So what is left at the end? That's why people have no right understanding. They mix sometimes the characters of Ramayana and Mahabharata. Right? We ask, do a survey to the people in the age of 20s now, you do a survey and ask some questions between Ramayana and Mahabharata, sometimes they will mix. रावण कौन था? दुशासन का भाई था. Just giving you one example. So, because we are not learning properly. So the bottom line point, the take-home message which I'm conveying is, we ourselves first need to learn systematically so that we can pass on that knowledge to our younger generations. Otherwise, it's going to be lost completely. Because everybody is too busy in just thinking, earning money, acquiring the possessions, material possessions, and we think, oh, I lived my life very successfully, very peacefully, I did good. But what did good you do? So you know what is the best thing for the society you can do? Best thing for your parents you can do? What is the best thing for your parents you can do?
Spending time.
Spending time with them?
One way.
Okay.
Taking care of them.
Taking care of them.
Respecting them.
Yeah.
Bhagavad Gita to read.
So the scripture says the duty of a father, the duty of a mother is to train their children to become a devotee. If they are not fulfilling that duty, they have no right to become a father or a mother or a teacher. Our prime duty is to deliver our dependents. The same way for a child, the biggest duty for them is to deliver their parents. So if somebody becomes a good devotee of the Lord, that is the best benefit they can give to their parents. If the parents train their children in this process, that is the best gift they can give to their children. Okay? Not that, okay, we send them to the best of best colleges, we buy the best and best clothes for them, you buy the best and best toys for them, the latest and latest gadgets and technologies for them. That is not the best gift you can give to them. Because material happiness is not the real happiness and it does not last long. There are threefold miseries of life which are always there. What are these threefold miseries?
Adi Bhautik Kalesh, Adi Atmik Kalesh, Adi Dev Kalesh.
So Adi Bhautik Kalesh, Adi Atmik Kalesh, Adi Devik Kalesh. What are these three types? Adi Bhautik. Adi Bhautik means the miseries caused by other living entities. There is misery caused by other people to us.
Yes.
So not just people, not just humans, but other living entities. It could include a mosquito. It can include a dog. So we are troubled by others always. Then Adi Atmik. Adi Atmik means miseries caused by our own body and mind. Our body causes problem. Mind causes problem. Biggest cause of problem. Right? People are suffering from mental diseases more than anything else actually. So our own body and mind, that's called Adi Atmik. And then Adi Devik. Adi Devik means the problem, the miseries caused by higher nature. This material nature causes misery. Snow happening right now outside. Misery, right? Too much cold, misery. Too much hot, misery. Sometimes there's earthquake, tsunami, flood, this, that. All these are what? Natural calamities. So no matter how good you are in this world, how good you try to be in this world, but these miseries will come, miseries caused by your own body and mind, miseries caused by the higher nature. You may say, nobody is troubling me, I am such a good person, nobody is troubling me. Okay, that's alright, nobody is troubling, but your own body is troubling you. As long as we are in this material world, these natural calamities will remain. Nobody can escape from that. तो बोलते हैं गेहूं के साथ घुन भी पिस जाएगा. You yourself may be a very good person, but this material world is designed such a way you cannot be peaceful in this world. For example, you enter into a cave which is जैसे बोलते कोयले की खान. What do you say that? Khan? Mines. Coal mines. So you enter inside the coal mines wearing full white clothes. White pant, white shirt, everything white. You enter into the coal mine. Can you guarantee you will come out of that coal mine without a black spot on your clothes? No, right? Not possible. So same way in this world, no matter how good you try to be in this material world, but the situation of this world is like that, others will not let you remain good. Others will not let you stay peaceful. There will be provoking situations. But the main point is it depends on what is our consciousness. How you deal with those situations. And what is going to teach us, how is going to train us to deal with those different calamities, different situations. That is the spiritual knowledge. See, outside the plant, the tree may be a huge tree. Okay, it's a very huge tree spread across 100 meter also maybe. But when the strong wind comes, that tree also may fall down. Externally, the tree was looking very widespread, but internally, the roots were not that deep rooted. The roots were not as strong. If the roots are not as strong, what will happen? It cannot sustain these external turbulences. It will fall down. But externally looking, it may be a very thin, shallow tree, but internally, it's very deep rooted. Its roots are very strongly spread out inside. Then can it be uprooted? So same way, we don't need to grow externally only. Yes, you can grow externally, make big in this world, no problem. You grow externally nicely, become successful in your career, in your family life, everything. You grow externally nicely, but that external growth is useless if your internal values are shallow. So we need to work on making our roots stronger. If your roots are not stronger, you cannot withstand the challenges of this life. With a little blow, the little turbulence of this world, we will be uprooted. That's why people, they are filthy rich. But still, they say we have so many problems in life. We have family problems, we have relationship issues and all that. Why? Values are not deep rooted. Values are not strong. Externally, they may have a lot of money. They have all the different possessions, material possessions. A person bought a very fancy car. You can imagine the big names of any luxury cars. He came to the one spiritual mentor, spiritual teacher. He said, Prabhuji, can I take you for a ride? I want you to get into the car. I want to take you on a ride. So started driving the car. Drove 10-15 minutes. Came on some outskirts of the city. Stopped the car. And Prabhuji asked, what happened? Why did you stop the car? Let's go back. It's getting late. And this person started crying like anything. Big luxury car he just bought, but he started crying like anything. I have all these external facilities, external things, external possessions, material possessions, but inside, hollow. Life is hollow. So many other problems in life. It could be a relationship problem, it could be a health problem or whatnot. So we don't need to work only on making big in life externally. We need to grow internally. And how you grow internally? How you grow internally?
Cultivating values.
Cultivating those real values of life. Cultivating those spiritual values of life. So that's why reading, not just reading, studying Bhagavad Gita, studying Bhagavatam is very important. And I will tell you, 99% of the people, they don't even understand the difference in Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. Okay, not to point on somebody or demean somebody, but that's the reality. People don't understand, Prabhuji, what is Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam? What is the difference in Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam? So we need to understand, read our scriptures and gain that real knowledge by which we can make our lives meaningful. We can make our children's life meaningful. Give them the right values. Otherwise somebody will give them some other nonsense knowledge, nonsense philosophy, then they will come home and start challenging you for everything. Why we do this ritual, why we do that particular thing, or why you don't eat non-veg, why don't you eat meat, why don't you eat beef? Or my classmates, they all eat all these things. Why I cannot eat? They do all these nonsense things. Why I cannot do? And you will say, oh, this is our dharma. Or in our religion it's like that. But in their religion they are doing all that. So when kids start asking all these questions, do we have the enough backup knowledge to guide them, to answer their questions, to guide them in the right direction? So I thought we'll just keep it basic today, not getting into other details, our regular topic. But my very humble and sincere request to all of you, please come regularly. Make it an important aspect of your life. Spending these 2 hours of your week is not even 1% of your time, right? It's just maybe 1% of your overall time, 24/7. Out of that, you take 2 hours to get this knowledge and help your kids also to get that right cultivation from this age right onwards. So our motto is chant and be happy.
Okay.
Chant and be happy. In that process, it all includes feasting, dancing, chanting, and having the fun along the way. So our process is not that you become some sort of give up everything. Spirituality doesn't mean giving up everything and shave your head and start coming to the temple, just live in the temple. It's about making small shift in your life, understanding the most important aspect of your life. So please participate in the programs as often as possible on a weekly basis. So that's what we wanted to discuss today. If anybody has any question, please feel free to ask any question. Maybe 5 minutes we can take a couple of questions.
Prabhuji, when I see most of the common question, like when I say something, a program, anything, so most of people say that, okay, we will see at the end. That is one thing, and the second thing is, okay, we will see what next life. We don't know what we will. We want to enjoy right now, and we don't want to spend time. So, what is that? What
So,
we can say?
that is a common question or common argument which is posed by people. Right now, just enjoy. Who has seen next life? That's why I asked this question first. How many of you believe in Atma? Right, in the soul. We are not the body, we are the soul. How many of you believe in the concept of rebirth? That after this life, it's not everything done deal. But we die and you just wait for the day of judgment after that, and then it's either this way or that way. It's not like that. There is a continuous life. There is another very famous philosophy which we mentioned last week itself, I think. Right? What is that? Charvak philosophy. Charvak philosophy is beg, borrow or steal. Live life big size. At the end of life, this body will turn into ashes. Who has seen next life? Who cares about that? After that, everything will just turn into ashes. So this life is the only thing, and just enjoy. Rinam kritva kritam pivet. So beg, borrow or steal, that is the philosophy. But we understand this life is just a journey. And when we say, let me first enjoy, at the end of the life I will see, believe me, people who say at the end of life will see about this spiritual thing and all that, they never come to that point, because conditioning is so strong, conditioning is so big. It's a thick layer of conditioning, it's hard to break through that. As you say, old habits die hard, right? On the way we develop so many habits, you think the habits will change all of a sudden at the end of life? Then how will you turn towards spirituality at the end of life? Once one person, I will tell you one story. This this person, he got into association of devotees, he is learning this spiritual life, he is very interested. His father was hardcore materialist, who was not interested in anything. And this person asked his mentor, I have tried to tell my father, now you are at this age, mature age, at least now you should read Bhagavad Gita, turn into spirituality, and he is not interested. What should I do? And this mentor told him, when somebody sees somebody else dying, when they see somebody else's funeral, maybe that will trigger something. That see, all the people are dying. My time will also come. One day this is going to happen to me also. Maybe that time some little vairagya will come, seeing others' funeral pyre going on and all that. So you take him to the funeral ground and let him see some dead bodies burning. So this person took his father. This person standing at the funeral ground, seeing 3-4 dead bodies, this cremation going on, dead bodies burning, and he started crying. Tears started coming from the eyes, and his son thought, oh, this trick worked. Maybe he understood. Some vairagya has developed in his life, that I have wasted my life and all that. So he asked his father, what happened? Why are you crying? His father said, I'm crying that I wasted my time in other business. See, this business of wood is so good. Everybody has to burn at the end of their life. So this business is such a great business. I could have made a lot of money in this. That was his reason of crying. So the point I'm saying is, conditioning is so thick. It's not that its conditioning is going to go over all of a sudden. When you turn at 60 and a clock is going to tick, now time has come, now you need to take to spirituality. It's not like that. So we need to train ourselves from the very early. Don't build those habits which are hard to break. Better to train, better to build right things in the beginning. Right? So sometimes we need to give that same kind of logic to other people to kind of shake them up, who ask or who argue this type of, pose this type of arguments. Anything else?
Maybe one question. So generally they say like it takes 21 days to form a habit, right? So my question is, how long do you see for somebody who's not spiritual to become spiritual?
It can be in 1 minute also. It depends on our desire and our sincerity. Those are the rare cases I'm giving. So there is no hard and fast rule. It depends on our previous conditioning. See, right now we may be at age of 30 or 40. Don't consider only that life. From our previous lives, we have been carrying so much of baggage. So much of previous karmic reaction, so much of baggage, so much of conditioning is there. For some of us, that conditioning may go very quickly. For some of us, it takes years and years to remove that conditioning. But the main important thing is being in the right association. When we come in the right association of like-minded people, if we come in the association of devotees who are practicing sincerely, when we see them, we also get inspired and we also want to practice. And slowly, as we keep coming in the association, we also develop that interest, we also develop that desire. Our association shapes our desires, and our desires also shape our association. Right? With what type of people you associate, you will also pick up their desires.
Right.
Somebody is interested in a particular activity, you keep hanging around with them, you will also become interested in that activity. And if you are interested in a one particular type of activity, you will try to choose association also accordingly. Right? So association is very, very important. Especially for this spiritual progress, we need to associate with spiritually minded people. So after that, it's just a matter of time. Just as you said, 21 days to form a habit. So our Namahata, what we are selling is the chanting of holy name. It's free. From our side, it's free. Only price you have to pay is your lolyam. How much greedy you are to buy that holy name. So you start to this process of chanting, buyback guarantee. Okay, even though it's free, but there is still buyback guarantee. You chant, you start engaging in this process of chanting the holy name. 21 days regularly, you chant the holy name. Start with 15 minutes a day. Okay, just 15 minutes, chant the holy name, this Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And you will see the benefit by yourself. You will feel the difference by yourself. So chant for 21 days and you will understand, you will notice what you are experiencing. How your consciousness is changing, how your life is changing for the better. And come to the program content regularly for a few weeks and you will see the difference. So we have this program happening every Friday evening. So that is the couple of announcements I want to make. So we'll end the regular discussion here. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna. So the couple of announcements which we have is, number one,